Hello, everyone, back tuning in to the Gaming Partridge YouTube channel. We're talking about Star Wars again with this video. So I haven't planned on doing another video so soon after the video that we did earlier on today. I released it this morning on Monday morning, where we was talking about Mark Hamill's interview with denofgeek.com, where he's going over his experience in the sequel trilogy, how he feels he's been tricked in some ways by what his role is within the sequel trilogy compared to what he was expecting when he signed up to do it. We know that when he signed up to the sequel trilogy, George Lucas was still involved in the development of the sequel trilogy, and I think he was expected to be he was expected that the sequel trilogy would be overseen by George Lucas, but we know that George sold Lucasfilm to Disney, and then at some point in 2013, we will try to unravel this in future video, but at some point in 2013, something happened between George Lucas and Lucasfilm under Disney, but later George walking away from Star Wars, walking away from the franchise, and so his story drafts were discarded, and then Lucasfilm and Disney decided to go with their own story that they appear to be pretty much making up on the fly with no sort of thought or planning going into it. And Mark did this interview with denofgeek.com last week, where he basically said that he thinks he's been tricked by Lucasfilm, by Disney, in terms of the role that he's had within these films. And he also lamented the fact that he never got the chance to reunite with Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher in Episode 7. There was never a moment where the three was brought back together. And I wasn't going to do another video about it, but this was pointed out to me by someone who emailed me. This was a tweet that Mark put out over the weekend. It's a rather sad tweet, and Mark just is tweeting what a Han-Luke reunion might have been like. So there we go. It's a rather sad-looking tweet of Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford in a very friendly embrace, and you can see sort of the long-time friendship and respect and compassion that they have for one another. These are clearly two people that really like each other a lot, and it was never to be. It was never something that we was able to get in the sequel trilogy. They brought the three of them back, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, the late Carrie Fisher, of course, so we can never get that back either in terms of Princess Leia, because Carrie unfortunately has passed away, but at least they did get a scene in The Last Jedi between Luke and Leia, but we never get the three of them back again, and it was such a missed opportunity, really. It was a real shame that it came about like it did, and just what they was thinking in terms of having the three of them back. They've got Harrison Ford, they've got Carrie Fisher, they've got Mark Hamill. They're back under contract making Star Wars, and yet they don't bring them back on screen. They don't bring them back together as a threesome. They don't bring them back together. It just is quite extraordinary, and it was such a wasted opportunity. I still can't understand it. Possibly this is one of the greatest wasted opportunities in the history of Hollywood. I would go as far as to say that, really. You've got such strong legacy characters from a beloved trilogy of films, Star Wars: A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. You've got them back under contract making Star Wars, and you don't bring them back on screen. I just can't understand what J.J. Abrams, who directed The Force Awakens, and what Lawrence Kasdan, who along with Abrams wrote The Force Awakens, I just can't understand what they was thinking, why they didn't envisage that the audience would want to see the three of them back together, and now we can never get it. We can never get that opportunity for the three of them to be brought back. Such a waste. It's like if you if for one night only you could bring back the Beatles. Imagine for one night only you bring back John Lennon, you bring back Paul McCartney, you bring back George Harrison, you bring back Ringo Starr. You got the four of them together in the same building. They're willing to go onto the stage and perform their greatest hits. And what do? You bring out Paul McCartney as a solo act. Then you bring out George Harrison and Ringo Starr as a double act. And then you finish with John Lennon just as a single act. It makes absolutely no sense to do that. And yet that is exactly what they did with Mark, with Harrison, or with Carrie, with the sequel trilogy. So, wasted opportunity. We can never get the chance back because both characters have been killed off within the films, of course. Luke and Han have both been killed off. And poor Carrie has passed away in real life. So we can never, ever get that opportunity back again. And, well, we are where we are, and the sequel trilogy is what it is. At least we have the three classic films to look back on. But man, oh man, what a waste. All right, we'll be back with new Star Wars content very soon. So thanks for watching.